What's going on, footy fans? Andrew, Santo, and Joe. We are here. We're on camera.
Yeah.
A little different setup for us. But I thought, hey, you know what? It's the last episode of the EPL season. It's going to be our 2022 year in review episode. Let's make it a little more high production value.
Yeah, that's what we're trying.
Production value. With
Get the cameras
If
on.
anyone could see what's going on
phones.
like behind
it doesn't matter
everything.
what's
The
going
two
behind
phones
the camera. It
on the
doesn't matter what's
chair.
on the camera. We're here coming at you. Episode, I don't even know, 32, 33 maybe, whatever it is. It's our last one of the Premier League season. Maybe we'll do more this upcoming summer.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anything big happens, maybe we can do like a Champions League review.
Yeah.
Of the match on Saturday. Maybe we'll get that out to you guys at some point.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
sure
this
there's
is our-
lots to talk about there.
Our last show.
Yeah. After a very exciting season,
yeah,
to say
so
the least.
might as well just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man City are your 2022 Premier League champions. Back to back for them. You guys are obviously very happy by that result. I'll say
Okay,
that.
we keep having this discussion. We're not City fans, and I think the other day I figured out why I want City to do well, because I don't want any reason for Pep or even Klopp to want to leave or to get sacked, which I probably would never happen like anytime soon. But I didn't want Pep to like not win a trophy this year. And then there's question marks around his contract, which was ending in 2023. But I think now it's looking like a contract extension is coming till 2025.
That would make sense.
So I want Pep in the Premier League for as long as possible with Klopp, because I just love this rivalry going on. So I didn't want anything to like shadow that, So
Well,
that's why.
I know we talked about it a few episodes ago. Do you honestly think if he didn't win anything this year, his time at City would be done?
I don't know, because I think like I said, 2023 is when his contract was up.
So after next season.
Yeah, I'm not obviously I don't know for sure, but it could have been a question mark of him saying maybe my time is done here. I would say it would have been more of that than him getting fired, because what other manager are you going to go out and get that's going to be this competitive in the Premier League? And this, I know he hasn't won the Champions League yet, but he's reached the final, the semifinal. It's going to be tough to find someone that's going to get you that close consistently as Pep. So, I'm not sure, but I'm just happy he won something and that he's more than likely going to be staying for a little bit longer, especially with Haaland coming. So yeah, that's why I think I'm a City fan, not a City fan, because of City, but just wanting, City to be as good as possible. And I don't want it to turn into a United or something where they get rid of Pep and they spend like who knows how long trying to find a manager we want to find a manager that's gonna win the Premier League almost every season and win the Champions League every season, because Pep's only winning the Premier League 4 out of 5 seasons and only getting to the finals of Champions League, which who else are you going to find that's going to be as good as him?
Yeah, I mean, winning the Premier League, you said at least Pep won something. He won the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's not like he won the Carabao Cup, and that's
Yeah.
the only trophy they won. They won, the most coveted thing you can win domestically in Europe, I would think.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like Serie A titles are big, Bundesliga is big, but if you're the EPL champion, that's like the most worldwide recognition you get for winning a domestic title, and then next would be Champions League.
Yeah. It was actually interesting what he said in his press conference, where he was talking about just the trophies he's won. And he said he's not saying that the Premier League is bigger than Champions League, but the Premier League is the most honest, where it's 38 games. You're winning the Premier League because you're the best team in the league. It's not like Champions League, where you can go on a run and it's just 2 legs and you go to the final and it's 1 game and then you win.
Mm-hmm.
You have to show up on that day, but it can be a situation where maybe, the best team on paper doesn't win, or maybe what you'd call the best team who deserve to win, doesn't win. But Premier League, you're going to finish top of the table after 38 games because you deserve to. It doesn't, even when Leicester won, like we were talking about, it doesn't just happen by luck. You don't get lucky 38 games across a year, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you have to be good to win. It's way more than just luck-based winning the Premier League title. Winning any title domestically, for sure, you must be a deserved winner. Liverpool, I think this year could have been deserved winners. I mean, we touched on it before a couple episodes ago, I think, or even last episode. they didn't do anything wrong this season.
No.
They didn't go on any like streaks where they were, like one of the worst teams in the league, or they are on a streak if they lost like 5 games in a row and they're in a slump. They were literally like neck and neck with City the entire way.
Yeah.
And it almost came down to, Man City picking up a win this weekend, but Liverpool picked up a draw.
Yeah.
That's what it came down to. That's how close this season was. We've seen closer seasons in the past. We've seen teams that are not even in first place overcome Man City, basically, and win the title on the last day. This weekend, Man City were top of the table going into the final match. They remained there after match day 38. Very eventful, very dramatic again.
Very.
Way to win the title. I mean, if you would have told me in the 60th minute or 70th minute, that Man City is going to come back and win this game and steal it from Liverpool, I would have said you're crazy.
Yeah.
I, like many others, I had both games on at the same time. Were you guys able to watch the game? You didn't watch it real time, did you?
Oh, the City game?
Yeah. I thought you guys had some prior commitment going on.
We did not. What happened?
I thought you had like the confirmation going on.
Yeah, so we were watching the game, and then we were like watching it, and then like shut it off, and then like rushed.
You finished it still. Like,
yeah, we still finished it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we won't go through every single detail, but for Man City to go down 2-0 like they did to Aston Villa, for Liverpool to pull ahead when they did, we had fans on either side of the pitch, either side of the country cheering or booing whatever minute you were looking at. Some phantom, rumors going on during the Liverpool match as well, trying to get Liverpool supporters, get them a little too excited when actually nothing happened. It was a crazy, hectic weekend at both ends of the table. But the big story, yes, City pulling through, scoring 3 goals in a 5-minute time period or 6-minute time period. Gundogan coming in, being the hero for City, a la, Sergio Aguero from 2011. 2012. De Bruyne, again, showing up and proving why he was the PFA Player of the Year. Second year in a row, I believe, for him. City was a deserving title winner this season. Don't get me wrong. Would I prefer Liverpool? Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
But I can't chirp. I can't say that they didn't deserve the title. I can't say that.
Yeah.
Going into the game on Sunday, I thought they were going to handily win against Villa. Villa put up a huge fight. They took it to Man City. They played a hell of a match. Nice goals too that Villa scored. Coutinho and Matty Cash getting the 2 goals for them. And I mean, it was another time that we saw Man City face adversity, and we've seen them face adversity before, whether it be Champions League or even matches that took place in the season, and they weren't able to bounce back from it.
Yeah.
They took it back right now. They took it and said, this is our title to win, our title to lose. And, they came on to do what they had to do.
Yeah.
Left it late, but...
Yeah, and that was the thing.
They got it done.
Pep is getting a lot of credit for the subs he made.
The subs you made. How can you screw up substitutions?
I know, when you're City, it's really hard to make.
When it's like a like-for-like world-class player for each other.
Yeah, I mean, like Zinchenko obviously heavily involved in their second goal, and then Sterling to assist Gundogan, both obviously subs, and then Gundogan to get the winner at the end. So I'm pretty sure he's going to win that award that I haven't seen before, where it's game-changing performance by a player. I've only seen it this year, but he's probably going to win that because I can't think of any more of an impact.
Just coming on,
the situation.
Winning the title, basically.
Is that an award for like a single moment of the season kind of thing? Or
I think it was just a player. Castrol is the sponsor, and it was just like a player impact of like a player impacting the game. I don't know if it's gonna come up again, but just like a player who impacts the game. I don't think it had to be a sub.
Okay,
but
yeah, that is the most impactful.
Yeah,
part of the season so far. You would think.
I think so. I mean, especially with your team 2-0 down.
Yeah,
you're coming in with all the pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All this end of the season awards coming through now. All the players of the year, goal of the year. Goal of the season, I guess it's calling your Budweiser goal of the season. Kind of funny, like a goal of the season sponsored by Budweiser.
Yeah, why not?
Of course. Yeah. Low key, Son picking up the Golden Boot of the year too. Yep. I think in the last match of the season he went past Mo Salah.
I think they tied.
They tied, but he has it though. He got it.
Do they both get it?
I don't think so. I think I saw somewhere like he has it. Like he is like
I don't know.
the award winner for the season. I saw him celebrating.
I'm not sure. I can't really type on my laptop because 4 of my keys don't work. So
What?
One sec.
What keys?
If anyone knows how to solve your TYUIO on your Mac not working, let me know. I mean, I bought a new Mac. I didn't bring my new one here. I have my old one. So I'm trying to type in footy.
You can't do it.
Anyway, come back to you on that one.
I just looked it up real quick. It just says, yeah, Son Heung-min receives Heroes Welcome from winning Golden Boot Award. So he must be back in Korea with the award, looks like. Yeah, he just went to Seoul.
No, they tied. They both had 23.
Oh, well, he's the only one that's getting recognition for it. I don't see anywhere on here that says like Son and Salah share it. It's like I literally typed in Golden Boot EPL and the first 6 articles are all about Son.
Yeah,
So
I think they're just like biased towards Son because it says winners of Golden Boot, and for this year they have Mo Salah and Son
okay.
in the Premier
I'm
League.
mistaken then. I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
But I mean, cool.
Everyone loves Son more than Salah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I mean, like, what else can Mo Salah do? Like, he's won EPL, he's won Champions League, Golden Boot winner. Give Son some respect. Like,
Yeah.
He's been arguably one of the best players in England the last 5 years, maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, I would even put him more valuable than Harry Kane, to be honest, this year.
Well,
No, for
yeah.
sure.
I mean,
Like,
could have been debatable by the end of the season because Kane started to play well.
He made a
Started,
finally.
but Son just in and out, consistent, shows up for Tottenham.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if you were to give me, like, a choice at Kane or Son right now to build my team around Tottenham, I'd probably pick Son.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
I
a
would
couple
agree.
years ago, you'd be crazy to make that assumption. But Son's a great player. So that's how the top of the table ended up being. I mean, we could talk it to death, but Man City, again, you're Premier League champions 2022. Liverpool second, Chelsea third, kind of comfortably. Tottenham, fourth place.
Yeah.
Got past Arsenal. Arsenal did what they could do against Everton. They got the win, but end of the day, it ended up being Tottenham by 2 points. Is that what it says?
Yep.
Tottenham by 2 points into fourth place, getting the last Champions League spot. Europa League being filled out by Arsenal and Man United.
Who barely.
Barely squeaked through again. If West Ham would have came with the win, they would have been in the Europa League. United would have been into the Conference League, which actually just took place today on Wednesday. Conference League final between Roma and Feyenoord. Roma won no victors. Jose Mourinho 5 for 5 on European trophies in the finals, which is a pretty cool stat for him. But this is a Premier League podcast. I don't know why I'm saying that. But just give him
a shout out to Roma.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
mean, Roma, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's good for them. Good for Mourinho. Whenever I see Mourinho have success anywhere, it's kind of nice too, because like he's the special one.
Yeah. I should have brought my old school Mazda Roma jersey with that like the collar.
The collar.
Had the
Those
collar
are
with
sweet.
the Mazda.
Those are nice.
Where are those?
And it had
jerseys?
it almost looked like the flying V thing with the little circles that if you like rub them hard enough, they would change color.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. Bought it at AC Soccer
Like
years
a scratch
ago.
and sniff? Like,
Yeah, basically a scratch sniff on New Jersey.
What color was it? Like the burgundy one? Like the
It was like the orange.
the orange? Oh, the orange one.
Yeah.
Because they had like that burgundy color one too.
Yeah.
That's kinda nice.
No, this was like old Roma
The
orange.
tight one.
Yeah, very tight.
The totty, like
Yeah.
skin tight nipple showing.
Nipples weren't showing, but it was tight.
No nipples.
I've had some nipple shirts before. They get itchy.
Yeah, and they're all Italian jerseys.
Yeah, I know. All the
Every
Puma
single one of them.
ones, like, I can't even fit in my 2016 shirt anymore. My 2016 in Italy jersey.
Oh yeah, I don't even know where mine are.
Sorry, not 2016. 2016. The Europa. Oh, the Euro jersey.
Yeah,
I think the best one.
Skin tight.
yeah.
I think I had the jersey from 2002, the Italy one. Just
That's a tight
the
one.
all blue one.
That's Kappa.
Just, or maybe not that one. I think because it was Puma, the one I have. It's just all blue, the Italy crest, and the Puma sign right here. And that's all.
That might have
That's
been like 04.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know for a fact 02 is definitely Kappa.
Yeah.
I think like 2000, 2002 was Kappa. And then they might have made the change in 04. Because then I have the 06 that they won. The only jersey, I was like 14 in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And the only jersey that they had at the store was a large. But my parents said, okay, you know what? It's like your first like Italy jersey. We'll buy it for you.
Yeah.
I was swimming in it. Now
You'll grow into it.
Fits.
You'll grow into it.
It fits now. It actually fits nice now. It's a large, but it's like a fitted large.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of nice. But I got the 2016 Euro long sleeve in a medium. And that thing's just grasping for air.
Yeah.
I put it on still. It looks nice, but it's tight. It would fit you guys really nice, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to buy it?
Yeah, maybe because I got to get some new Italy attire because I had the 2006 one when they won long sleeve.
Yeah.
Don't know where that went. I had the the Euro, one of the Euro kits where I had like all the lines kind of through it.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know where that is. I had an Italy jacket. Don't know where that is.
I still got that. That's the only thing I have.
Jacket?
The nice one though.
The one with the massive Italy letters like across the chest.
Oh, I remember that one. I've seen that one a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I had the old school Kappa like Italy jersey or Italy tracksuit too, like the matching like Kappa one like down the side, like the two ladies down the side. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think everyone had those in like 2002
everyone,
or something.
Or that or Kappa track pants.
Yeah, 100%.
Black.
Kappa track
I mean, we're
pants.
talking about Italy, but we have nothing to cheer about for the next 4 years. So.
No, because we suck.
Anyway, back to England. Top 10, what's rounding up? Leicester City actually made a little bit of a resurgence because they were in like 13th for a while. 13th,
Yeah, they were
12
struggling.
range.
Mm-hmm.
They finished P8. They finished in 8th place.
P8.
I got F1 in the
Here we go.
Brighton, I mean, I wouldn't call it like a surprise of this season because
Mhm.
finishing you're finishing ninth. But top 10 for Brighton, pretty good result for them.
Yeah.
They were sitting top 5 for a while
Yeah.
at the start of the season. Them and Brentford were kind of like the two teams that were saying like, wow, like how is this happening? How long can they survive
Mm-hmm.
in this spot of the table? But then to finish P9, top 10, huge result for them.
P9.
Did I say P9 again?
Yeah.
9th place.
Pole position. Man
Pole
City
position.
in current pole
Get
position.
out of here. And then on the podium with Man City is Liverpool and Chelsea.
I was watching that game against Man U.
When the shellacking.
Oh my gosh.
That was
Cucurella just eating Man U apart.
I thought he was Italian for a minute.
Oh, I think, what is he, Spanish?
Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has like I think he has Barcelona ties.
Yeah.
Like maybe like his like youth academy was on Barcelona. I've seen him in a jersey when he was younger on Barcelona.
Yeah.
And then Wolves, just round out your top 10. Wolverhampton, 10th place. They had a strange season as well. They were kind of like almost like Leicester. They're around that bubble of 12th to 9th for like a big chunk of the season. And then they just kind of went on a weird form at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of draws, a lot of losses. Finding it really hard to score. The likes of Jimenez there and who's the other one?
You thinking of?
The other forward for Wolves. Jimenez and Moutinho? Yeah, Moutinho. Like Moutinho?
Well, I think Moutinho plays mid.
Yeah, you're thinking of Huang.
No,
you
not
got
him.
no. Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto, yeah, maybe him. I don't know. They have good players. They have guys that can score. They found it hard. I mean, Jimenez was like a top goal scorer a couple years ago. He's in the top 5, top 6. But they just had kind of a downward season at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Them being rivals to Leicester City, it's never good to be beaten by your Midland rivals. But
Yeah.
as long as they place higher than Aston Villa, I think they're happy. We saw a lot of coaching changes this year. We can go down the list of like just tons of storylines this season. Coaching changes at Villa, Newcastle, clearly Norwich, Burnley. Some working out for some clubs, some not for the other.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest turnaround was probably the Newcastle firing and then hiring of Eddie Howe.
For sure.
I like that move because similar to the Gerrard move with Aston Villa as well, it wasn't just coming to the side and save our team. It was like coming to the side, save our team, but then like you're going to be here to grow our club.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't just hire Eddie Howe to rescue your team from relegation.
Yeah.
That's not what he's about.
That's like a Sam Allardyce.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So Big
those
Sam,
guys
Roy
Big
Hodgson,
Sam
call you.
Roy Hodgson
We need
came in
you
too.
for like 4 months.
Yeah. Like,
That's it.
Like there's like 8 coaching firings this season.
Yeah.
7 at least
There's
maybe.
quite a few.
Again, not all of them panning out. I mean, Leeds fired their manager too, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, because
the guy that was always crouching with the glasses, and now they got that.
Was let go,
and they got that. Yeah,
Norwich had their manager let go. Watford had their manager let go. Everton, obviously. Villa, Newcastle. Like it was like a list, like a huge list. But yeah, like Gerrard again, coming in from coaching or managing Rangers, who actually went to the Europa League final this year as well. Shout out Rangers, losing in a shootout. Never,
always tough.
Never a good result. But yeah, he's not there just to be relegation safety and then I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for the future of clubs like Newcastle, Villa, Lampard maybe at Everton, we'll see how that goes next season. He did his job barely by squeaking out a couple wins at the end of the season to get them out of relegation. It's going to be a promising future, I think, for these clubs. Hopefully. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to see what happens with Lampard at Everton next season, just because his run so far hasn't been the best. But coming off this huge high of saving one of the biggest clubs in the EPL, I hope it works out for him. Just because of kind of the magnitude of a club that Everton is, and just really wanted it to work out for him. Hopefully it goes well. I do really want to see Eddie Howe stay at Newcastle for the long haul. I really like him as a manager. But obviously with all the influx of money and potentially all the personalities coming into Newcastle, I think you're going to need a really top class manager to manage that. Like we've talked about, like Jurgen and Pep are they're managing players and managing egos. Like along with their really good, obviously coaching capabilities, they're good at managing the locker room and things like that. So I think that's what Eddie Howe's going to have to do at Newcastle as they grow.
Which is something he's not probably accustomed to doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you from obviously just tossing names out there, because like this is obviously just a rumor, but like Eden Hazard or like I was watching the Champions sidetrack. Have you seen the show The Champions?
Kelly's watched it.
Oh, so funny. Messi and Ronaldo go to like an alternate universe for whatever reason.
Okay.
Yeah. And they go to one where like everyone's at Newcastle. They had a room of like just Salah, like Lewandowski, like all these guys just in a room like splashing money. But no, like if them or like Eden Hazard or like even Sterling, just all these random like big players, if they go to Newcastle, Eddie Howe's gonna manage like a locker room with like egos of people that at one point thought they were like the best soccer player in the world. You know what I mean? It's gonna be tough.
And like coming from like the side like Bournemouth too, even from Bournemouth to Newcastle, that's a different upgrade in itself as well.
Yeah.
Like the Bournemouth grounds, Vitality Stadium is like under 10,000 people. I think we saw it was, or 11,000.
Yeah, very small.
To go to St. James Park now, like that's like your regular home field. That's your regular home crowd. Way more passionate, way more loud and boisterous than the fans of Bournemouth would be probably.
Yep.
Yeah, small market to big market move. That's one thing in itself. He clearly handled it well. I mean, I even had the likes of Eddie Howe going to Arsenal or Man United as a potential spot for him to land too. I think the Newcastle signing, I think they got a steal in Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
He's young still. I think he's around maybe 40, if not even 40 years old. So he still has like that young personality at heart. He can relate to the players a little bit more. And like Santo just said, you're a player manager. Like, yes, tactics aside, you're there to manage personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And the younger you are, the more you can relate to those players, the more you can pull them aside under your wing, maybe in the locker room and say, hey, like, I know what you're going through. You'll get over it. Whatever advice he wants to give. I think Eddie Howe's a great manager for the job for Newcastle. And who knows? Yeah, like you said, the new backing from the Saudi, regime that's there now.
Yeah.
Money's going to come in. Players are going to come in. Hazard possibly, like you said. Who knows? Like where Newcastle could finish next year.
Yeah, for sure. And Eddie Howe is 44, so he 44? Is okay. Very, very young.
When he was at Bournemouth, I know he was like 36.
He was like super young. Yeah, we're gonna be as old as him in like 5 years. Ooh, crazy. Yeah, and I think he has a long career ahead of him. As long as he can, get a good stick in with Newcastle, I think he has the capability to just grow into one of the top managers. And if Newcastle really progress to be one of these teams that start competing for titles with all this money, it'll be interesting to see if he can, maintain a spot there. Because obviously, if Newcastle gets big, all of a sudden you can take your pick of who you want, right?
Yeah. Like tragedy aside, like he would, if Newcastle doesn't progress to like being, a huge Premier League contender, if he can just kind of float them in a good spot for a long time, he'll get picked up by somebody. Like I think, he could be Pep's successor. He could go to Chelsea possibly, as long as he doesn't put Newcastle into the ground.
Yeah,
like he's gonna have a promising future. Like you said, he's 44 years old.
Yeah,
like when he's 60, he could be United's new Sir Alex Ferguson. You know what I mean? I think he has that potential as a manager.
Yeah, and to keep in mind, I mean, I still remember when City first got taken over by the Etihad group. What I don't even know.
We'll call him that.
Yeah. And they bought Robinho. That was how long ago?
That was like
Chelsea
forever ago.
7?
Like forever
Maybe?
ago.
Yeah. And it took them.
They went through how many managers?
Yeah.
Like
that might be like 2005 or something. Actually, I don't know.
Pep was like what, the 4th or 5th? No, maybe I don't know, because they had their original guy. I forget his name, and then
the original guy.
Who was that after him? I don't know. Maybe it was Mancini. I think it was him.
Pellegrini?
Mancini. I think Pellegrini was after Mancini.
Robinho went to Man City in 2008.
Okay. So it took from Robinho getting signed to Aguero in 2012, them barely winning the...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, granted, they probably deserved it that year. But, it took a long time to build that team, to get all these signings and literally having a revolving door. But like, all right, splash all this money on this player. Splash, and you're just like bringing all these players and finally get a recipe that works.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of teams and a lot of fan bases, I think, miss picking up on. Yes, because you have new investment. Yes, because you have maybe a world-class manager. Yes, you have 1 or 2 signings. You're not going to click right away. You're not going to gel and like become a Premier League champion your next season. There's a growing period. You have to get acclimated to your team. And we saw it firsthand, like we just kind of talked about. Pep's first season at Man City was a disaster.
Yeah.
Like people were calling for his head
like
after
78 points or something.
Yeah, like they were
Crazy.
saying why we don't need him. Go back to Bayern, go back to Barca even. They didn't want him, and now they're going to be building statues of the guy.
Yeah.
If he can,
they're like we want Pep here as long as possible.
Yeah, like why not? I mean, the guy can't get you a Champions League title, but if you can consistently win Premier League titles, that's still huge. Like I said, like it's not like he just won the Carabao Cup 4 years in a row, and that's all he's done at Man City.
Yeah,
he's built the club or helped build the club from. Yes, like what Pellegrini and what Mancini were able to do was great for the club as well, but Pep has established them as a European power.
Yeah. And
yes, with the backing of the Etihad group and the money coming in, they didn't just splash money around on pointless signings. Everyone that they signed has contributed. When you think about it. Like back, I always bring up the Adebayor thing from like 2010 or whatever it was. When Man City bought Adebayor from Arsenal, they bought him, paid millions of dollars for him to ride the bench because they were already so stacked that they didn't need him. They weren't doing that with this, like under this regime and under what Pep has done in the last 5 seasons at Man City. Let's just call it 5 years. They haven't been making pointless signings.
Yeah,
everything has a purpose. Pep is getting guys that he knows can fit his tactics, that can fit his plan going forward. And if they don't adjust to it, he might ship them out. He might put them on loan, whatever it is. But for the most part, 90%, let's say, of Pep's signings, or 90% of what Pep has done since he's been at Man City has been a success.
Yeah.
It's just closing in on, yes, the Champions League. Yes, it's closing in on maybe making the Premier League title more, I don't know, like not clutch, but like winning the title like easier. Like if at all possible, like obviously with the rival of Liverpool, like that's out of their hands, out of their control how well Liverpool plays.
You get 90 plus points, and Liverpool's getting like it's crazy.
You can't count on that as against him. You can't put that against Pep, but he's done a good job. And again, I'm not a Man City guy, you guys know that, But when you're being successful, like year after year, you have to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
During the season before they were crowned champions, I didn't want to say anything good about them because they weren't champions yet. In my eyes, they haven't won. Clearly, Liverpool has a chance to win 3 out of 4 trophies this year.
Yeah.
Do I think Liverpool's a better club than City? Maybe, but they won the title. I can't take that away from them.
Yeah.
Kudos to City. I'll shut up now. You guys talk.
I think Joe was going to say something.
Ahead, no, I was looking at something else, but no, I mean, and I hate to harp on Man U, but this just goes back to, I think even Liverpool. Well, I would say a lot of the top clubs. You look at their structure, and they're just structured in a way to like win Premier League titles, and then you look at Man U, and it's just like. It's literally the opposite of what you just said. Like signings just for publicity, like managers just like who look good, whoever it might be. Like Ole. I mean, no disrespect to him, but there was no indication. And he was set up to fail. They were like, oh, we're gonna put an Ole to like compete with some of the best managers in the world, but he hasn't had that, experience yet. It's like that was kind of a recipe for disaster because he was never gonna compete. Like for the title. And then, with that said, you try and sign these big players and it goes back to, needing someone that can manage egos. So hopefully Ten Hag can do it, and hopefully Man U can get to a point with like City and Liverpool where there's like have a good structure under their belt. But yeah. No, yeah, kudos. And to go on your point with Liverpool winning the Premier League easier, I think if City didn't have this many points, I think Liverpool would have probably won 4 of the last 5 titles. Just they got like 92 points. I know last year I think they got like 93 and they still didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
So the year City got 100.
It's just insane that you get like 90 plus points in 2 years and not win a title either of those years.
Yeah, if not for the other club, one of the 2 clubs would be on like a 5-year winning streak.
Yeah,
it's kind of what you're saying.
Which is great, yeah. I mean, and I heard one of the pundits saying, like, this rivalry, like, we're going to take a step back and be like, this rivalry was insane. Mm-hmm. Like, this City-Liverpool rivalry. Like, we're going to look back and, like, was there ever really another one like this? Probably not.
I don't think
like,
so.
Just this 2-horse-legged rivalry going on. Because I know back in the day, we had, like, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, just consistent top 4. And United was always kind of had the edge on all 3 of them.
Yeah, it was United and Arsenal, if anybody.
Yeah. And, but these 2 just like, and they're even saying like their styles are different, but they're just so dominant while also playing like a really, really good football.
Also different brands of football too.
Yeah.
Like, which is nice to see. Because a lot of the time you look at other leagues, whether it's Serie A in Italy or Bundesliga Germany, Liga in France, all the teams are structured differently based on payroll, I think. But at the same time, the style of football is very similar. In England, it's like you have like the kick and run ball of like the lower end teams. You have the possession based game of like a Man City and a Chelsea. You have Liverpool doing the high press and always attacking. You have United not knowing how to defend. There's different styles of play.
Yeah.
Like all throughout England. And yeah, to see 2 clubs like Man City and like Liverpool go toe-to-toe week in, week out with different style of play, it's nice on the eye to watch as a spectator.
Yeah.
Because then you can also like kind of gauge like how you view football based on like what you're watching. Like, are you more of like a run and gun, or you're more of possession and you want to have 60% of possession every week? Or are you like Liverpool where you want to be able to do a high press and a high attacking rate, score a lot of goals, have a little more flair, I think, and like excitement in your matches?
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the viewer at their own discretion of like who to support and who to follow. I just love it though.
Yeah,
I love like just the different, like viewing pleasure you can have in the English game.
Yeah, and you get to see, especially when City and Liverpool go match up against each other, you really don't know what to expect. So you don't know which style is going to prevail on that day.
It's awesome.
I remember, I don't know if it was last season or 2 seasons ago, when City like really handed it to Liverpool one game, and then you have situations like in the FA Cup. Granted, City did come back, but for 90+% of that game. Liverpool were just taking City, and City couldn't handle it whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to see what style kind of prevails on any given day. And, right now, back to your point about, Liverpool being a better club, right now I feel, even though obviously City won the Premier League and maybe over a long period of time, City do tend to get the results and, get titles as they have gotten over the years. But I think on a given day when City and Liverpool play each other, I would say Liverpool probably has the upper hand every time they play City, just for whatever reason when they're getting matched up. It's just from all the games I've seen them playing against each other, I feel like City's always really struggling in the game.
Mm-hmm. I do think City, if City doesn't play their best, Liverpool will probably win.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Liverpool doesn't play their best. I do think City at their best is better than Liverpool, though.
Yeah.
It's just City, I'll put it this way. City are probably an 8.5, 9 out of 10 most of the time. But if they're at a 10, they'll always beat Liverpool. But if City's at a 9 and Liverpool's at an 8, Liverpool probably wins that game, oddly enough. It's just, I don't know what it is about Liverpool. They're just so dynamic when they play. And if City's not free-flowing enough, they're not going to be able to break down Liverpool.
Yeah. And if KDB's having a bad game against Liverpool,
everyone has to be so, like I said, everyone has to be perfect, and then they'll beat anyone. It's just those games where when it's not clicking. Then Liverpool has the upper hand.
I think a lot of it comes down to just, again, the style Liverpool plays. They frustrate you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're pesky. They're very, if Liverpool, most of the time that Liverpool's going to play a match against somebody, they're going to be the favorite to win, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the style of play that they play, whether it's against Leeds or whether it's against Chelsea, their style of play is just to frustrate you and make you create mistakes. Whether that's against a player like, Jack Harrison for Leeds or a player like Jorginho for Chelsea. They're just going to put pressure on you to create turnovers, and then that's how they can counterattack and go forward. Same thing against Man City. If they're not the favorite against Man City, they're still going to play the same way that they do against Southampton. They're just going to try and make you make mistakes. So I think that being said, this match going into the Saturday against Real Madrid, they're the favorite to win. I think going in already, I'm not sure what the line is for betting odds, but they're the favorite to win. They're not going to change how they play. And that's what I like about them too, because they could be a possession-based team, but it's not like a slow build-up play that Man City does. Man City wants to make every goal look beautiful.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they build their goal scoring around, I think. And I think if they're not able to achieve that, they frustrate themselves and they get into panic mode, and they can't sometimes break through. Yeah. Liverpool is just always going to find a way to win.
Yeah.
They're always just going to get the squeaky bum goals. They're going to get the pressure mistake-ridden goals. And I think that's how they get separate from each other, Man City and Liverpool. They both only lost 2 and 3 games this year.
Yeah.
Man City lost 3, Liverpool lost 2. Man City 129, Liverpool 128. That's how close they're separated.
Yeah.
And then 2 draws in between that is the difference. 1 game difference, and it swings the other team's direction. I just think the way that Liverpool plays against any opponent is more of, maybe the opposing manager doesn't have to change their style of play as much against Liverpool as they would against Man City, because Man City is just always going to be, again, possession-based. You just crowd the box. Don't let them score.
Yeah.
Liverpool, they will find a way to score.
Yeah. They always
will
find
a way to beat you.
Yeah.
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 I don't know what that means, but that's just my opinion.
No. Liverpool will always find the squeaky bum goals. That's the end of the story.
Yeah.
That's true.
No,
it's true.
They will. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of just take it to Real this weekend. Probably, they're going to play the same game they always do, and I think that's why they're favorites. Not to get ahead of ourselves on the weekend, but even though Liverpool are the favorites, Real Madrid said it tons of times since this matchup started. Always find a way to win Champions League. That's why they've won it 13 times. Even when they have terrible seasons, they just find a way to win. And I think, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. I mean, Benzema's on fire right now. He's scoring goals from nothing.
I really think Vinicius Jr. is going to give Liverpool a very hard time. Because the one thing Liverpool doesn't have is like a Kyle Walker on their team.
Yeah.
They have Van Dijk, who's great, Konate, great center backs, but Robertson and Alexander-Arnold are not going to be able to deal with Vinicius Jr. So they're going to have to...
They'll have the pace for him.
Maybe.
But maybe not the physicality. Or
not probably
the
not.
defensive aspect of it.
You have to be very good at defending to handle this guy.
Just on that point, like I think Walker was able to handle him decently well, just because Walker's probably the only player that's faster than him. I mean, he was running almost toe to toe with Walker with the ball, but Walker was able to kind of shut him down. Then when Walker got injured, when they really started taking it to City, but it's going to be interesting to see how he does against outside backs that really don't have the same pace as he does.
Yeah, and like the way Liverpool's set up as well, they're outside wingers, whether it be Mane, Jota, whoever, they have no defensive duty, and we know how forward Alexander-Arnold and Robertson like to get.
Yeah,
so they could get caught out in that aspect as well. I'm sure Klopp, again, if anyone's going to have a plan, Klopp would have an idea of like, okay, don't go forward as much. Like we can't. Whatever wing he's playing, is he like a left winger?
He's going to play on the left side, so he's going to be assuming they play the same and Liverpool plays the same, he's going to be on Alexander-Arnold's side, probably.
So maybe he'll say, hey, Trent, like hang back a little bit. Like don't go as forward as you can. Like choose your time wisely.
Yeah.
Because if you get beat by that guy, like you're toast.
Yeah.
And then if there's any informed striker you don't want to go against right now, it's Benzema.
Yeah.
Whether it's Vinicius Jr. going on the wing and cutting in on his own, or sending in a ball to Benzema for his header. I mean, those are two things you don't want happening against you.
I know, and it's gonna be interesting for Van Dijk because it's kind of opposites for Van Dijk's. He's obviously younger. Like, I don't want to say he's very what?
How much younger? He's not that much younger.
He's Van Dijk's like 26, I think.
No, he is not.
It's something. I don't know. Look it up. I can't type in Van Dijk quickly on this laptop.
Santi, get the
Van Dijk.
Van Gogh.
Oh, now he's 30.
Yeah, he's not
26.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's same age as us, actually. He's 91.
So he's going to be 31.
He's going to be 31.
Yeah, it's going to be 31 July.
Benzema's 36, I think.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting how,
34.
like, because Benzema's
34?
Yeah, I got to check your stats.
I thought I remember just watching the
He's turning 35 in December. So he's got a ways to go. He'll be 35 this year.
Yeah, so, I mean, Benzema, like, he's obviously not faster than Van Dijk, probably not as strong as Van Dijk, but Benzema just has so much experience playing. He's going to, like, just
knows where to be.
Just knows his stuff. So it's going to be interesting how that gets dealt with.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You guys want to throw predictions out for Saturday?
I mean, with this matchup, I really don't even know how like valuable prediction is going to be.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. I think Liverpool's going to win 3-1.
I'm going to say Real 2-1, and Benzema's going to score a header because he's scored 1 million headers so far. And I'm not even going to make a prediction on the other two goals. I think 2-1, Benzema's for sure.
I don't know why. Now I'm leaning more towards the Real Madrid win.
Don't change your thing.
I don't know why.
If you want to change yours. I was going to say 3-1 Liverpool. So either I'm on your side with you, or
I'm trying to think.
Change it up, whatever you want to do. But I was going to say 3-1 Liverpool. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Stuff.
Be confident, Joe.
It's called Real Madrid's trophy for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, typically I would be I'd be a little wary because I know there's this issue. Like Salah could very well leave Liverpool this summer for Real Madrid, which is kind of interesting. But just the signings Liverpool made were so good. Like, what's his name again?
Diaz.
Oh, like, where did this guy come from?
What
He's
a
just
signing!
like
low key signings of
probably the best signing of the year, I would say.
Most impactful second half of the season.
Like came out of nowhere and he just slotted right in to Firmino been in and out of the side because Jota took his spot.
Even Jota down the road too, he was kind of inconsistent. Like he was either always getting subbed or not even getting starts.
Yeah,
because Diaz was coming in on the
and then just spot. Diaz comes in just like crushed it. Like
who
found this guy?
Yeah, he was on Porto from 2019 to 2022, 77 appearances, 26 goals, and since being at Liverpool, 13 appearances, 4 goals.
That's just in Premier League though. That's like he's got other goals.
Yeah, that's Premier League.
Yeah.
And he's 25. Colombian.
Timely goals though too.
Yeah,
very timely goals, which are even more. Maybe they don't show up on the stat sheet as big, but way more valuable. A timely goal. You can give him one timely goal as opposed to 10 Premier League goals. That's a timely goal. Every day of the week. So Joe again inconsistent maybe on his prediction. Santi 2-1 Real Madrid. Andrew 3-1 Liverpool. Joe, final word. What is it? Gun to the head.
3-1 Liverpool.
Yay, there we go. Team Reds. Joe's like biting his tongue saying that because he wants Man City to be here so bad.
I do. And it goes back to what I said. I want, but then it kind of contradicts what I say because I think if Pep won the Champions League with City this year, I'm curious if 2023 would be his last year. He's like, because what else do I have to do at City? But
so let me ask you guys this: this is Pep's sixth season he just completed at Man City, and this is 2016.
Mm-hmm.
He has 4 Premier League titles. Does he trade those 4 for 1 Champions League?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I wonder if you were to ask like an actual City supporter.
I mean, a City supporter probably would. Like if you're a City supporter, it's like, yeah, I want to win the Champions League. We haven't won that yet. I think Pep, the fact he can look back, it's like I won 4 out of 5 Premier League titles, which means over 5 years. Like I was definitely the best manager. Whereas Champions League, Chelsea won 1 Champions League, like last year. Was it last year?
Yeah.
It's like, but like what?
Yeah,
is,
we did.
But like what is Chelsea right now? Like I would probably take.
I've been avoiding the Chelsea topic all episode.
Yeah,
so far.
I would much rather take those 4 Premier League titles and be where City is right now than the 1 Champions League and be where Chelsea is right now. Because like,
I actually can't fight you on that.
Yeah.
I can't fight you on that.
Because like, we won last year, but like we're not like you're not gonna win it again soon probably, and you're like the 3rd best team in the PL. I don't know. It just is what it is.
Right at the beginning of the episode, you guys mentioned like, I think it was you, Santo. You said Champions League you can kind of get hot and like streaky and then win. I was biting my tongue because I'm like, that's exactly what Chelsea did last season. I mean, trading in 4 titles for 1 Champions League, that's a lot. Maybe I'll trade in 3 titles for a Champions League and keep 1 back because winning the domestic title, winning the Premier League trophy, it shows sustainability and it shows that like you are a good club.
Yeah.
It's like we can harp on all episode. If you win the Premier League title, you're a very good side.
Yeah.
And more times than not, 9.5 times out of 10, you're deserving of winning the title. In Chelsea's case, it's been, I don't even remember now, 4 or 5 seasons since they last won the Premier League, and it hurts because you're seeing the success of Liverpool and Man City every single year. Whether they don't make Champions League final, that's one thing. Liverpool, that's kind of why I'm saying Liverpool might be a better club than City as a whole, because they're going to their second Champions League. They're going to possibly win their second Champions League trophy in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
They are coming off winning a Premier League title 2 years ago, their first one in 30 years, which is huge. So I think in the last 5 seasons as a whole, although City has had more domestic success, I think as a whole in the last 5 years, I would say Liverpool has been the best club in England. I would think so.
I mean,
the 1 title and then 2 Champions League appearances, being right there again with City this year. I would take Liverpool. And then Chelsea is so far behind. That's why I'm trying. Again, look, I started to talk about Chelsea just now. They're so far behind both those clubs. It's very frustrating, clearly. and to sit back and see the success of those two clubs domestically and in Europe, it's tough. It's tough to be part of, because for decades Chelsea has been right there with the Man Uniteds, with the Liverpools, with the Arsenals, and to not go into a season like super confident that you're going to finish in Champions League. I thought they were this year. I mean, it never once crossed my mind that they weren't going to be in Champions League. Beginning of the year, I thought Chelsea's a title contender. We talked about it at length. Clearly, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But going to next year, I have no idea what this team is about.
Yeah.
If you give me $100 right now to bet on who would win the title, I'd be putting on City or Liverpool, 100%. I would never put on Chelsea for next year. I don't know. I don't know what to say about them.
Yeah.
I have no idea what direction this team's going to go into.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot on what happens with Lukaku if he finally gets his footing and gets his performances back on track. Because they have the makings of a team that can contend for the title if they're playing well. They just got to fill in some gaps. But
losing Rudiger, losing Christensen, possibly losing Azpilicueta. I mean, that's 3 guys that are in your back line every week.
Yeah,
Christensen's been on the bench as a substitute, but Rudiger has been arguably Chelsea's best player for a couple seasons now. Azpilicueta has been the captain for 10 years. Those 2 guys are now gone.
Yeah.
You have an aging Thiago Silva now, who seemed like a great signing last year when he came on a free transfer. He's 38 years old, or 39 maybe now even. So we're going to have a very, very young back line. Hopefully Ben Chilwell is healthy enough to actually stay and play next season, opposite Reece James on the wing. But those guys in the middle, Kurt Zuma's gone to West Ham. Trevor Chalobah, who knows if he can step into Rudiger's role and fill his position. I don't know. There's a lot of questions on their back line, and I'm surprised that Tuchel hasn't made more appearances talking about it, because his mind as a manager is defensive.
Yeah.
And so for him to be kind of up in the air with who's going to play defense next year for your club, it's kind of scary. We know how the midfield is with Havertz and Mount and Pulisic. It's just finding a cohesive group that can play together as a well-oiled machine for a long period of time, because they were so in and out of the side.
Yeah.
All these guys. Ziyech as well, Hudson-Odoi. You had no idea who's going to start as your wingers. Plus, again, the likes of Jorginho and Kovacic and Conte. You have so many players. You have 8 guys I just named that has to fill 4 spots.
Yeah.
Or 5 maybe every week. It's just a revolving door. And then, up front, you can put this chair up there, and they might do a better job than Lukaku and Werner. I don't know. There's a lot of questions with Chelsea next year.
Yeah.
Todd Boehly, the deal just went through today, actually, I think, of the sale of Chelsea. The Premier League, the FA, they approved of the sale to Todd Boehly and his group. American owner. We'll see what he does with the club. I think he's going to be there to not just look at Chelsea as a business acquisition, but to hopefully compete for titles. We'll see what they do in the transfer market in the summer. If they're given one, there's another talk of maybe a possible transfer ban. That's another restriction going against Chelsea for what happened with Abramovich and Russia. Huge mess. Boys. I don't know. I'm just rambling right now. I'm scared. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen with this team.
You don't know who's going to turn up, right? And that's where, aside from Man City and Liverpool, it's really tough to know
who's going to show up. Which version of that team is going to show up?
Maybe
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, with Conte in particular, we'll see how they do. It's been 1 season, and he did what he had to do. Got him into the Champions League. I was actually talking with my boss today. He's a big Tottenham fan. If they can get a few more signings, Conte's probably the closest person to being able to compete with Pep and Guardiola, I would say. Or Pep and
Guardiola.
Pep and Guardiola.
Coaching
there you go.
Man in City.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's a different whatever. That's a different story. But to be honest, I thought that would be Tuchel just because of what he did when he got to Chelsea, won the Champions League. Obviously really good manager, but I don't know what's going on with Chelsea this year. Obviously, he's having a little bit of struggle managing Lukaku and maybe just the dressing room in general. So who knows? But like I said, if anyone can compete. It is Conte, so it's a question of if he can do that with Tottenham. So,
again, the season just finished a couple of days ago, so to give predictions for next year, it's very early.
Yep.
But of the teams of Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, we'll throw Man U in the mix. Out of those 4 clubs, who do you think is more confident going into next season to, let's just say, get third place?
I would still say Tottenham or Chelsea. I mean, I think. Oh no, Arsenal.
Honestly, I was gonna say,
I would say
those top 5. I would say Chelsea's the least confident.
Yeah, I would say Arsenal and Tottenham.
They just sold the team.
They just sold the team, and I don't even know.
I would go with Tottenham, Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, Man U's probably the least confident out of the top 6 right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
With Chelsea as the 5th, and then Tottenham and Arsenal as the next ones. Just because Arsenal's been playing phenomenally well. I mean, they obviously dropped the ball hard with getting these 2 losses at the end of the season to miss out on Champions League, but they found their form. We said it all season once they started their resurgence, and I think they're just gonna continue rolling into next season.
Yeah, they definitely showed the last half of the year what they can be in the future, and again, it's just another year under the belt for players like Smith Rowe and Saka and a lot of the younger guys, Martinelli, guys that are into the side for a couple of seasons now. They're getting more adjusted to the EPL game, more development, more maturity. Arteta, again, he's had a lot of backlash last couple of seasons. People calling for his head a couple of times, saying they want a new manager, but good for Arsenal, and they stuck with him. And yeah, I mean, like you said, 2 very untimely losses, just terrible timing. Just to miss out on Champions League. But going forward, I mean, they'll be in Europa League. They've been in Europa League for a decade, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if they can wrap that up and get some silverware for them in that tournament. But yeah, I think they'll have a good side next year. I do.
Yeah.
And again, another transfer market. We've mentioned before how they have some gaps to fill on the side. Some more veteran players maybe to go alongside their youthful attack. But yeah, Arsenal, they're going to be a good side. They're going to be one to watch out for next year. Tottenham with Conte, another season on the belt again. Kane getting a little bit older, but we've seen how a manager can really change a locker room firsthand with what's his name? Who's the guy that started there?
Where?
Nuno.
Nuno.
Nuno starting at Tottenham this year, that being a disaster, and then Conte coming the side. It took a little bit. It took a couple weeks, but he, got Kane in motion. And Kane's second half of the year, if he would have played that way the first half of the year, he could have been player of the year. Because he was lights out for Tottenham. He came up big when he had to. He showed captain material. We tripped him earlier in the year saying, get this guy off the field. I know I did.
Yeah.
Saying that he's a liability. But he proved me wrong at the end of the year and was obviously really beneficial and crucial to getting Tottenham into the Champions League. Huge success for them.
Oh, yeah.
Big money coming in as well. We know that Tottenham is one of those clubs that they're bigger, yes. They're not in the same realm as the regular top 5 or top 6. They're kind of on the outside looking in a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But for them to get money like they have, that's huge for the club. I know they're always like penny pinchers when it comes to when it comes to transfers. Yeah, they don't really make big signings. They sell players for a lot of money.
Yeah,
as we know in the past. But as far as making the big signings, they're always kind of watching it a little bit.
Yeah.
So with them getting Champions League 4th place, more money coming in, maybe they can see a bright future. Conte hopefully can talk to management and say, hey, like maybe make some moves here. We need this player. So we'll see how it comes out with them next year. Bottom of the table, though.
Yes.
We'll get to that.
Definitely talk about the bottom of the table.
Norwich and Watford. Get out here, Kelly. Norwich and Watford. They were out of it for a few weeks now.
Long time.
Automatically. It was that last spot, 18th place, up for grabs, which no one wanted to grab. Burnley ends up being the last team to be relegated this season. Firing Sean Dyche with maybe 8 matches left, we kind of wrote off Burnley. We said they're done. They're selling off players at the January transfer. We don't think they can come back from this. They made a late resurgence, a little push at the end there. They actually had a pretty good streak of some positive results. They're up to at least 16th, I think, at one point. While they were going up, Everton was dropping down. Last couple matches of the season, it came down to Everton, Leeds, and Burnley as 3 potential teams be going down. It ended up being Burnley. Sad to see them go down. They had a good stint in the top flight for a little while.
Yep.
But nonetheless, it has to all come to an end someday. For Burnley.
Yeah. I mean, obviously very tough. I mean, it's the worst thing as a club, getting relegated. Just, like Joe said, teams have the contingent plan on what happens if they get relegated.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a hard hit, financially, you lose all your players. It's tough. So obviously it's just part of the game. It sucks for the teams that happens for, but good on Leeds and Everton staying up. I mean, it was disaster city for Everton. We talked about it last pod where Everton, if they got the win that clinched it for them to stay in the EPL, we were going to see a field raid. We were wrong, because the field raid didn't happen at the end of the game.
Happened on a goal.
Happened on a goal.
For anyone who didn't watch the game,
Everton.
Was it 85th?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Everton were losing, and they were losing 2-0, and then came back and got some goals, and then next thing you know, what's Phillips? Yeah, Calvert-Lewin goes and heads it in, and fans start raiding the field after the third goal, which I've never seen before in my life, because you haven't even won the game yet. So
imagine they end up losing that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
You raid the field like you haven't even won yet. Like you still
man.
gotta go win. And all the Everton players are obviously telling the fans, like, go back in the stadium. Like, we don't want to. Like, what if this game gets stopped or postponed because you guys do something stupid?
Well, I get the excitement, but it had almost 9 minutes of added time.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, if they just would have been chill and celebrated in the stands, the game could have finished in the 92nd minute. It was like the 99th minute.
Yeah.
That this game finished.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and they they got the win, and they stayed up. It was honestly one of the most dramatic games I've seen. Me and Joe were talking about how that's going to go down as a Premier League classic.
Oh, for sure.
We're going to hear it for forever. Everton, needing a win to stay up, down against Crystal Palace, and then coming back to win. They scored 54th, 75th, and 85th minute. Come back and win after being down in the first half. It was huge. It's one of the atmospheres. I mean, just watching the game, the atmosphere was crazy. Fans were losing it, and then it was party after the game, which on one level I find funny, because you're partying so hard and so happy just for not losing the season really from getting relegated. I mean, Everton have a lot of work to do. I mean, they got to figure out what they're going to do next season, because if you're Everton, you don't want to be celebrating that you didn't get relegated.
Because they're going to be in the same position next year unless they figure it out. Because with the amount, I think I was wrong. I think they spent the 4th highest amount in the transfer market last summer, I think. Or it's something like that. They spent a lot of money bringing in players. You should, if you're Everton and you spend that much money on players to, and building a new stadium because you want to compete for Champions League or whatever it is, you cannot be scrapping for relegation.
No way.
You cannot, out of all, and they were even saying, Everton, if they got relegated, that's probably the biggest club ever that has gotten relegated. If that would happen, especially with the amount of money they spent, like I said.
Yeah, in the modern era, for sure. The modern Premier League era.
So you got to figure out what you're going to do next year to be hey, how do we become competitive? Because we can't go through this again next year.
No. And the celebration, it was a little dramatic, but when you're that close to death
and you survive,
that's something to celebrate.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I don't discount it, but it's funny because you're celebrating they got 16th place in the EPL.
And just a little side note too, it was nice to see that Calvert-Lewin was the final goal scorer for them too, to get that last goal. He had a really tough season, injured most of the year. One of the only, not bright spots, but one of the only players, him maybe in Richarlison, as the 2 bright players for the future for Everton, to hopefully stay there for a long period of time. He he's prided himself on being like Mr. Everton now.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a kid, he was there, some scrawny little guy making appearances like late for them, like coming alongside Lukaku, and then like in the 80th minute as a substitute, to now be like the guy to look for. It was good to see him be the goal scorer.
Yeah.
To clinch it for them. But yeah, like you said, they're gonna have a tough time going forward. A lot of work to do to rebuild that club. But the new clubs coming in actually from the Championship division, we have Fulham, we have Bournemouth, and Huddersfield.
I haven't actually.
Huddersfield, Joe. Huddersfield.
There's an I in Champions.
Yeah, Huddersfield finished third.
Hopefully that's actually the ones that actually went through. Go up. Yeah, I think they might have been the team because they had to go to the playoff edition.
I didn't even realize how in Championship they play 46 games.
Yeah, they play a lot of matches.
Yeah, there's 24
they started the
teams.
season like a month before the EPL.
These are 46 games.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Why?
It's 8 more than.
8 more than
Why are there
League.
24 teams in the Championship?
So that's what they do.
They need 24 teams in the Championship division. Keep it
So that still
interesting.
is every team.
Keep that mid-table nice and thick.
That still is every
Yeah,
team
I guess
twice,
so.
right?
Yeah, it's still every
Yeah.
team twice, just more teams.
So who's going down actually?
I got Barnsley, Derby County.
That's
It's at bottom.
Bro.
It doesn't actually. I wish I had little things here.
Yeah. The relegation line.
And I'm assuming if it's bottom 3, it's Peterborough.
I saw a little thing. It was Sunderland. It's coming back up to the Championship division. Sunderland won. Was it League One?
Okay.
And so they're back up to the Championship division now for next season. So Sunderland making that long climb back up to
very
EPL,
long
hopefully.
climb back.
Yeah, it was a great EPL season. I'll just kind of wrap it up saying that. One to go down in the books for many different storylines, many different reasons. We saw a lot of new faces. We saw a lot of new managers. A lot of hope for the future, I think, of the league. And yeah, however you look at it, whether you're a fan of Everton, you're celebrating. Whether you're a fan of Man City, you're celebrating. Tottenham, you're celebrating. Liverpool have a chance to win Champions League. I mean,
Yeah.
English soccer. I mean, I don't have to keep saying it, but like English soccer is probably the best league in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Most competitive, gets the most worldwide recognition, and it's for good reason.
Yeah,
like I said, like the countless storylines that take place, and just like the feel good moments that come out of England, you can't beat it.
Yeah, I agree. And this year actually, it was interesting. It was the first year ever where relegation, Europa League, Champions League, and the title, all 4 came down to the last day. Usually you have it where, relegation decided, maybe Champions League decided, or Europa, or like usually one of those things is already decided, or multiple. This is the first time ever where all 4 were going to be decided on the last day.
Yeah.
And even in this case with the Conference League too, where that could have swung either way. So you had, everything was happening, unless you were one of the, if you were either between Southampton or Leicester.
Yeah.
So the group
8
of
teams.
there, 8 teams.
Well, and Watford and Norwich.
Yeah, unfortunately for them. So just with those teams, any other scenario, you're looking at your team and seeing what's going on.
It's a good point.
Yeah, so it makes it where final day is super exciting, and it's why we watch the league.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, even looking, hopefully next year's just as competitive, because like you look at even all the way down to like Villa, so like the top 14 teams, like those are like really good teams. Like you have your top 6, West Ham, great. Leicester, maybe a bit off the pace, but then you got like Brighton, Newcastle competitive. Crystal Palace has been like particularly good this year, and now we'll see with Villa what they can do next year. So, good things to look forward to. Hopefully, Villa sign. I mean, it's not going to happen. That thing is already busted, but Suarez going to Villa, that'd be amazing.
That apparently almost happened in January.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, it's going to be great. Next season, Erling Haaland in the league as well.
Okay.
That'll be good.
So again, we have Champions League to look forward to this Saturday, the 28th of May. Again, maybe we'll do a podcast after that if we can get together, if we can find the time.
Mm-hmm.
If not, watch it yourself. It'll be a good one. You guys know our stance on it. Maybe Liverpool to this side of the couch. Real Madrid to this side of the couch. But I think I'll say for all of us, thank you everyone who has made this first season for footy fans. A special one is our first one, having a podcast, putting it out on YouTube, putting it out on the audio platforms. We want to thank everyone for listening, everyone for watching this whole entire year. It's been a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yep.
And I think we'll continue the same thing next year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Stay safe, and we will catch you later.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Cheers.